everyone, I'm Jared, and today I'm going to teach you one of the most famous drum beats of all time, and that's the Funky Drummer Beat by James Brown, and the drummer there was Clyde Stubblefield. Now, I recently watched an interview with Clyde Stubblefield and John Jabos Starks, and they're basically talking about when they play, what are they trying to do, or who are they trying to sound like, and both of them kind of said they're not trying to sound like anyone, and they're not going to sound like anyone else but themselves. So they just play like themselves, and whatever you get is what you get. And so that's what I'm trying to do as well. So please don't think I'm going to make it sound exactly the way Clyde Stubblefield made it sound, because there's no way I'll ever be able to do that. I'm going to make it sound the way, you know, a white Canadian guy from the sticks in British Columbia and Canada is going to play this groove. And so I did my best. It's a really hard groove, but it's super fun when you get it. Now, this groove is the most popular ever because it's been sampled over 7 million times. Okay, so tons of artists have basically taken a chunk of the beat and put it in their song. That's what sampling means, or something to that effect. So they'll take like a 4-bar loop or an 8-bar loop. And, I mean, Clyde plays it in many different ways. It's not the exact same every single bar. The open hi-hats are a little bit different. Some of the snare shots a little bit different. And so what I've done is I've just, chosen one of my favorite portions, and we're just going to talk about that. And this is in the little break where he's saying, "Ain't it funky, ain't it funky." But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so it's 16th notes, and we're going to start just by kind of breaking it down limb by limb. So we'll start on the hi-hat. Now, I'll play the hi-hat part for you at 60 beats per minute. Now, the hi-hat part there, you could say it's sometimes just on the E of 2 and the E of 4, but there's a few times where he adds it in on the A of 2, and I think it sounds so cool. So we're going to kind of throw it in there and learn this version. Now, another thing I'll say is the close with your foot is very important as well. So when you open the hi-hat for that 16th note, when you close the hi-hat again, you want it to be a very strong close. And when you listen to the song, you'll hear like him open, and you'll actually hear him stomp the pedal back down. So it's hard to focus on the open and the foot at the same time, but that's something you want to eventually develop. So now let's talk about the snare part. And so we'll basically continue doing the hi-hat, and we're going to add in the snare. The snare is on counts 2, then it's on the A of 2, then it's on the E of 3, the A of 3, and then count 4, and then the A of 4. Now the hardest part here is obviously the A of 3 going to the 4, and that quick little accent, okay? The quick little ghost to accent. So it sounds like this at 60 beats per minute. And after you got that, you can just add in the basic foot pattern. Okay? Now the kick is on the 1, the and of 1. It's on the and of 3, and then the E of 4. Now eventually you can just experiment with different kick patterns, sometimes just doing on the 1 and the 3 and. This is just kind of the one I chose. There's many different played throughout the song. Okay, so we'll do this again at 60 beats per minute. And now I'll play it up to the tempo of the actual song, which is around 94 beats per minute. Here we go. And that is how you play one of the most popular drum beats in the world. And like I said at the beginning, I'm not trying to sound exactly like Clyde Stubblefield. I will never be able to. But I'm really trying to learn this beat because hopefully it'll inspire me to create something different or create something of my own. Hopefully it'll help me work on certain techniques like that right hand technique or the ghost note technique or the accenting. I mean, there's many hidden things in here that we can take from it and learn. Okay. One other thing I want to mention is that the way he played it on the album, you can tell he's hitting very lightly and it's just like very soft and relaxed. Right? There wasn't a lot of tension. And I'm still trying to work on that myself because that right hand, even doing this lesson, it's like, wow, I can feel it in my arm here. And so that's another great kind of byproduct of learning cool grooves like this. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It was a blast teaching it to you and kind of dissecting it and figuring it out myself. And so I really hope you take something away from it and get inspired to get on the drum set. Now, if you haven't checked out my new successful drumming course, there's probably a link somewhere on this page, either below or above or somewhere there. I'll point everywhere. And I'd love for you to just go check it out. It just basically takes you through building a solid foundation of the note values and into all the techniques. And then from there, it teaches you how to create, play along to music and stuff like that. So I'd love for you to check it out if you can. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.